Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 2 of Algawa. And I normally am going to be starting episodes out with cinematics and such, but that's not quite how it worked for this episode, considering we're so early on in the series. I don't really have any new cinematics to show you guys that happened in between now and the last episode. Just briefly, before we actually go into the time lapse, I'm going to kind of show some of the changes I made to the skyline, or just overall to the city in general, in between episodes. I added some temporary services, like there is a police station here now, and a little fire station over here. I think they're going to be moved. I'm not sure. I put them so that if I like them, it makes sense that they're in a place where they might be able to stay. I'm not sure. I also added these two buildings. I don't think were in like previous screenshots I posted, or I don't think they're in the cinematics. I added this hospital over here, as well as the children's hospital back there. We got the Flatiron building, which is always nice, and then just some other little buildings to fill it in already. So we got like this little Stuart Hall Lofts thing, a little office right there, and actually I put down some things over here, which, you know, I figured, oh hey, we can make like one little corner over here that's like older buildings, I don't know, that are like kind of a little bit taller. I don't know, that's just something I felt like doing. In this episode, we are going to be just going and detailing some more of the downtown, you know, just adding, mostly it's going to be like props and trees and stuff. So we'll see where that gets us, and yeah, we'll jump right into this time lapse. So here we go. So here we are. I've been placing trees for a little while now, and I just kind of wanted to briefly, you know, talk on that. Not a whole lot, but you might notice I'm placing some trees that are like, you know, kind of autumn colored. You've got your golds, you've got your oranges, you got your reds, and I think I forgot to actually mention this last episode, but Algawa is a kind of it's set in like early autumn, so not like late autumn, like New Windsor, so, you know, not all the trees are going to be having their leaves change colors and stuff. But I did just want to have some of those, like, so that there's an identity of the season within the city itself. And I decided that I want to go a bit more heavily with the, you know, the color of the trees downtown, because you have all these grays and these whites among the concrete and the towers, and I'm like, I want to break that up. And so to do that, I largely utilize those colors of the autumn trees, and I think it works out pretty well. But as we shift away from the downtown, I'm probably going to start to use less and less of those autumn trees, but I will probably still use them throughout the whole series. So that's what that's going to be like. And while we're on that topic of Algawa, the name itself, I don't think it has a meaning. It just is something that I thought sounded kind of almost Native American. Because if you look at, you know, for example, cities in Wisconsin, they have names like, oh, Wausau, or Akanmawa, you know, just oddball names like that that are kind of derived from like Native American things. And I thought Algawa sounded like it could be one. And yeah, I don't really have a reason as to why it sounded like that. I just thought in my head, it's like, yeah, that kind of sounds like it could be, so I'm going to use that. And that's how I got the name. But then yesterday, actually, I decided to look it up on Google Translate to see what Algawa actually means, if it does mean something in any language. Apparently it does. In Arabic, it means cancelled. And hopefully that's not an omen for this series, because that would be ironic and kind of sucky. But I just found that kind of funny. The name of this series literally means canceled. So maybe it predicted the fate of my other series. But yeah, so that's kind of the history behind like the name Algawa. There's not a whole lot to it, and you know why I'm placing some of the trees that I am, and you know a lot of these trees are just in places where I didn't know what building I would put there, or just felt like there should be more green space, because I really think that this city should have a lot of, you know, green space, a lot of trees. I think a lot of, like all cities basically should. Green space is a wonderful thing. And I moved the children's hospital here. I'm kind of making a parking lot there, so, you know, they have a place to park, obviously, for the hospital. Again, like I said last episode, you have to imagine there's more parking than there, like, actually is. That's just how that's gonna be. I don't really exactly know yet what I'm going to be doing for the next episode. I imagine I will be moving away from the downtown for the first time in this series, and I don't know what I'm going to do outside of it yet, but I do have some ideas, and I'm excited to get started with that. And yeah, we'll just see, you know, what ends up happening. Whatever ends up happening, I'm sure I'll be able to put in a good effort so we can get a quality looking product for an overall better looking city. One of the things, earlier I actually posted a teaser for this episode on Reddit. So earlier would not be like earlier today, it would have been a few days ago by this point. And someone commented, "Hey, yeah, this looks a lot like New Windsor." And in my head I'm just like, oh yeah, there it is. It's starting. The comparisons, they're starting. So I wouldn't like clarified that with the whole paragraph, and it was just like, looking back on it, it's like, did I really need to do that? No. And it didn't even mention something that I want to mention now, which is that, like, although the downtown may look pretty similar to a lot of New Windsor, I think as we shift away from downtown and, you know, start to work on the outer parts of the city, this project is really going to start to develop its own identity. It's just, we're only 2 episodes in, so it's not quite at that point yet. We're still just trying to get things going here. It's going to take a bit for that. Yeah, and I had planned to make a lot more, like, kind of outdoor plazas than I did in the downtown with like tables and stuff. But in the end, I only end up making like 1 or 2 of those, just because I don't want to, you know, waste an hour doing that when realistically I won't really, you know, you wouldn't have that many. I'm like, I'll do more in the future, but I only did like a few for the downtown, and I did kind of actually a backlight area for those old skyscrapers that I think I showed earlier. I ended up doing one of those, and I think it looks pretty good. I think that's more towards the end of the episode, you'll see. But, yeah, that is what it is. Yeah. Oh, man. This is actually my second time trying to record this voiceover, because last time I ran out of things to talk about, and I still feel like that's almost going to be an issue. But if it is, I'm not going to go on and, like, complain about it forever. But yeah, one thing I maybe could mention is I've noticed recently when playing that there likes to be, like the game likes to be weird whenever I click on the landscaping tab, and it shifts the camera right up to the sky for a second anytime I click on it, and I don't know why. It just happens. It just does. I don't know. It doesn't bother me too much. I just hope it doesn't really like affect the footage and whatnot. One thing I think I'm gonna do while editing this is I'm gonna probably turn down the volume of the music for the credits, because although I really do like the music I had, I feel like maybe it was too loud for some users last episode. No one said that, of course, but I feel like it might have been because I only ever have my headset at 50% volume, so I never hear like the full thing. And as it is, that song that I had playing is about maybe as loud as I would want it to be, even with the 50%. So maybe then if I were listening to it on 100%, it would be really excessively loud. So that got me thinking. I'm like, yeah, I'm probably gonna end up going back and, you know, just changing how loud that is, because I don't want to deafen anyone, or at least catch them off surprise. I really do like this song though. You know, like when it kicks in, kind of just as that second shot started for that cinematic. Man, I really like that. And I hope I can get a similar nice effects for the cinematics for this episode. And it's just, yeah. I'm running out of things talking about again, so I'm gonna end this little voiceover here, and I'll be back in a bit. So see you guys.
Carried you home, taking all the weight off your shoulders. Now we're long gone, falling into 1 year older. It's funny how our love began when I was sober. Now I stumble in a room where nobody else cares. Now I'm in two minds thinking about you. I'm in two minds thinking whether I'm too kind to give you all of my truth. I'm in two minds thinking. Now I'm in two minds thinking about you. I'm in two minds thinking whether I'm too kind to give you all of my truth. I'm in two minds thinking.
Hi, so I'm back, and I kind of want to talk a little bit about this kind of backlit I'm starting to create here behind these two skyscrapers that I mentioned earlier. Earlier, you might see I actually used the little chain link fence, actual fence network. And originally I thought, oh yeah, this will work nice because, you know, I really like how those networks work. But then I was like, actually, no, it doesn't work all that well because, well, one, it won't quite go as close to the road as I want it. So that right there, that's an issue. At least with what I was trying to do right there. Yeah, of course, just as I start talking about the backlot, the camera actually, you know, goes away from it and I start doing other things, or whatever. But then I ended up switching to actual, like, prop chain link fences, which is what I was originally looking for, but didn't look far enough for it. And, that, you know, it just works a lot better. You're just gonna have to excuse the way they, like, awkwardly kind of mesh together. I don't think it looks too terrible. You can almost imagine they have, I don't know. I don't have a good explanation for it, just avert your eyes from it. So I don't really know quite, like, what idea I had in mind when doing that backlight. I didn't really have much of a vision. I just went in and started kind of, like, putting down some, road stain decals, roadwear decals, like, containers and trucks and pallets and forklifts and stuff. I don't know, just kind of a generic backlot, even though it might not be, like, something you'd find right behind a skyscraper. I just felt like, you know what, I can kind of make it fit because they're, like, older. Maybe they have a little bit of this out here for this or that reason. I don't know. Or maybe just out back here in general because it's, like, kind of tucked along by the freeway. And so maybe you could just, that could be nestled back there. But, that's how that goes. And you saw me there. I went by an old skyscraper, and one thing I did was I added a bunch of, like, planters and put some trees in them, and I added some tiles to go by, just kind of, like, almost like a walkway on each side, because there's a door on each side of the skyscraper, but it doesn't, like, fit perfectly into a block with where I put it. So that's what that is. And, of course, here's the backlight I'm talking about. I put down, like, a few containers here, and one thing I figured out while doing this is actually it seems almost like that trailer container actually, like, snaps to the truck itself. I'm not sure if it does, but when doing that, like, actually live gameplay, it felt like that was what happened. And if it is, that's a really neat thing that I'm glad happens, but I don't know if it is. I'm just saying, like, actually being able to snap it to the truck, that would be a cool feature. I don't know. It might already exist. It might not. I don't know. And then the one thing I'm not sure if I'm going to keep is this, like, kind of double stack of, like, containers here. Like, how are they going to get that? How are they going to get that open? Because, well, how are they going to? They can do the bottom one, but how are they going to do the top one? They don't have a crane here. That forklift sure as hell can't lift it. So I don't know what I was doing there, but, I think this little backlot ends up turning out, alright. It serves the purpose that I want it to serve, and, that's what that is. So anyways, we're coming to the end of this episode, and, I want to thank you guys for the support that I've been shown so far. Like, I've gotten not a lot of views on the first episode, and every single of those views is important to me. I appreciate every single watch. I got a like or two on there already. I've gained, like, 2 subscribers in the past day, so we're up to 75 now for the first time. That's good. I enjoy that. So even though it's only been a day and it hasn't been, like, a super busy day, I just want to say thanks, because it means a lot to me. Coming back to this scene and just being, just having that. It really is nice. So if you guys did enjoy this episode, make sure to check out my Twitter, check out my Reddit, stuff like that. You just check it out, maybe give me a subscribe, leave a like, drop a comment. Again, as I said in the last episode, I really do appreciate comments. The next episode should be out a week from now. Hopefully I can get my creative engines going and get something unique going, like a nice little. I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. I have ideas, but I don't know. But we'll see. It'll be something good, and I'm gonna try to make each episode better than the next. So with all that said, I'm gonna shut up and let the cinematics begin here in just a minute. See you guys out.
Don't you hang